I stared at my phone, the screen still glowing from her last text. Don't call me. Each word cut sharp, final, slicing through months of everything I thought we shared. I paused, weighing my options, then typed back without hesitation. Don't come home. The words landed heavier than anything I'd said before, but they were necessary. I wasn't angry, not the explosive, dramatic kind people imagine. I was calm, measured. I knew what was coming, and I needed to stay steady. 10 minutes later, the phone buzzed again, and again, and again. 20 missed calls flashing across the screen, each one a frantic echo, a desperate alarm. The intensity could have unmoored someone else. But I held myself together. In the chaos, there was clarity, and I refused to surrender it. I thought about the countless times I had been patient, giving space, giving chances, explaining, apologizing, hoping she would understand. Now the roles were reversed. I was the observer. She was a storm. I remembered all the subtle signs I had ignored. The small comments, the offhand remarks that should have warned me something had shifted. I had loved her openly, completely. But love alone can't anchor a relationship when trust starts a fray. My thumb hovered over the call button. I didn't press it. I didn't panic. There was quiet power in refusing to chase what no longer wanted to be found. I set the phone down, leaned back, and breathed slowly. The apartment felt emptier than it had in years. But somehow, I knew that whatever came next, I wouldn't lose myself again. Before the first wave of missed calls could fade, the text arrived. Please answer. I need to talk. It's not what you think. Each message was soaked in fear, guilt, and frustration. I read them carefully, letting them settle without reacting. There was no anger in me, only awareness. This wasn't about proving a point. It was about maintaining the dignity I had spent too long compromising. I thought back to nights spent listening to her worries, holding her when she cried over things that weren't my fault. The patience I had shown during arguments that spiraled needlessly. The quiet compromises I had made without expectation of acknowledgement. And yet, here we were. She reached out frantic, expecting the old me, the me who had always responded. But I didn't. Not this time. Time stretched between the buzzes. 10 minutes became 20. I didn't call. I didn't reply. I let silence carry the weight words couldn't. Strange, the power of calm. How absence, deliberate and measured, could teach lessons louder than confrontation. I thought about her state of mind. I didn't hate her. I didn't seek revenge. I only wanted clarity. For her, for me, the emotional hooks she thought could manipulate me had no power here. I was no longer a participant in her storm. I was an observer. That distance, cold and intentional, was a first step in reclaiming the life I had risked losing. By the 20th missed call, my decision was made. I didn't answer. I didn't reply. Each buzz, each vibration was not a signal of panic. It was a reminder of control. Control I had surrendered far too many times before. She thought urgency could sway me. She thought her presence demanded a response. She was wrong. I replayed our last conversation in my mind, the one where I had explained how I felt, how my patience had limits. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't heartless. I simply recognized that constant uncertainty, the manipulation of fear and guilt, had no place in my life anymore. I had loved fully, openly, honestly, but love that demanded surrender at every turn wasn't love. It was dependency masquerading as intimacy. When the buzzing finally stopped, I felt a strange calm. The apartment was quiet, the city hum outside muted by closed windows. I set the phone aside and let the moment stretch. No dramatic confrontation, no meltdown, no sudden twist, just silence and recognition that I had chosen myself over chaos. Hours later, I knew she would try again, with new messages, new excuses, new attempt to pull me back into a cycle I had already escaped. And yet, I felt nothing but steady resolve. This was not a loss. This was reclamation. I had learned that sometimes the strongest action is inaction. That sometimes the clearest message is not in words, but in the calm dignity of walking away, unwavering, unshaken, unapologetic.